welcome to the Late Night League semifinal match between me and Ben. With a lot of luck and a little bit of skill, I made it in, and now fighting Ben for round one of playoffs and semifinals at the same time. So, I lead off with Cresselia, and he leads off with Metagross. He agilities, and I Ice Beam. I Flame Orb, and this Cresselia is set up the same way as my Noctowl, so I go for the Psycho Shift and he Meteor Mashes, both misses. I'm burnt now and taking damage. He mashes again, delivering a pretty heavy blow to Cresselia, but Cresselia's really bulky, so it absorbs it quite nicely here. I go out Psycho Shift, landing the burn on Metagross and nullifying his strength and turning it into a weakness. He takes burn damage, and I get I get burned again due to the Flame Orb. He'll withdraw and move out to Blissey here, and Blissey is just a son of a bitch of a Pokemon to try to take down. You gotta just get on top of it and mess it up early, or this guy's gonna rape you hard. So I Moonlight, getting back some life, hoping to gain some advantage later, be able to burn a victim. I move out here because I know that he won't be able to do anything to Blissey, especially with Natural Cure. He Aromatherapies and pretty much nullified what I did to Metagross. No big deal here, but because I'm just planning on exploding on his face. He T-Waves, it's paralysis. I cure myself with a Lumberry. Well equipped. Usually carry Lumberry on Fortress because Fortress is bulky but has many weaknesses. So I figure, hey, just try to nullify out some of the status effects. So he T-Waves again, gets paralysis as I get the rocks up, and then I explode in its face. Those rocks end up being huge in the match. Just absolutely huge, game-changing, if you would. So I explode and do massive damage to Blissey, but do not quite knock it out. Which I'm like, damn it. Like, that right there could prove very fatal in this match. It's decisive semifinals, one round. Winner advances to finals, where they'll meet Aiden. You watched me battle Aiden earlier. Aiden knocked off Steven, or Brock, in their semifinal match. He moves out to Goggles, and he's like, crap. I was chatting with him as it was going on, and he's like, crap. How am I going to... How could I do that with Stealth Rocks out? I Waterfall with Kama, with the switch into... With the double knock... Or with the switch in from the knockout to Fortress. So Goggles goes down, and that's a big relief because he's Tinted Eyes, huge special attacker. Moves out to Porygon Z, another special attacker. I know that I'm not going to be able to deal with that with Kama. I just wanted to get the knockout on Goggles when he moved to him, or on Blissey, but he moved to Goggles. He T-Bolts Crest. Crest takes decent damage to it, but lives it with great health still. All I was planning on doing was Psycho Shifting some more onto him. He T-Bolts. Again, I know the burn won't do half the special attack, but at the same time, it's just nice to get some damage. And then live with 1 HP. Oh no, wait, I trick off my item, eliminating his item. That's right. So I trick off his choice specs and give him a Flame Orb, which burns him. I die to burn here, but it was epic that I lived with 1 HP. I mean, fantastic. Like, that just made my day, and I knew the Pokemon gods were in my favor, so... I go out to Mrs. T. His Mrs. T is just bulky and just brilliant. I go for the Focus Punch. Or no, I just set up the Sandstorm, because now Cress is dead, I can go to Sandstorm. And then bring in Psy, which is my Shuckle, who just eats the crap out of special attacks in sand. Has almost a 900 special defense. Just completely walls out. walls out Porygon. All I do here is Encore. I believe he withdraws. No, I knew he'd force the withdrawal, so I go for the knockoff, actually. Which he goes back out to Blissey to kind of heal team and get ready. I knock off. It wouldn't have mattered. He would have died to Sandstorm. Or I knock off Lax Essence, which is a Hax item, but I okayed it for him on this tournament. Again, he dies to Sandstorm and knock off Tandem. So I get Leftovers heal. He goes out to his Dusknoir, which I know Dusknoir is a classic Will-O-Wisper, so I banked on it coming into play. He Will-O-Wisp, lands it. I'm like, whatever, it doesn't matter. Shuckle's just going to rest it off anyways later on if necessary. I Encore, and it completely makes Dusknoir ill-equipped to handle this battle. Sandstorm keeps raging. I go for a Toxic here, I believe. After getting lefties back and full health again. Take Burn. Right now it's kind of ridiculous how many items are in play. He goes for the Will-O-Wisp, staying in. I go for Knockoff, actually. Knocking off his item. Knocked off Leftovers, which is tremendous help because now Sandstorm's actually going to be doing damage and not just being nullifying Leftovers. Huge. Sai completely is setting up his team for Havoc later on. So, without his Aromatherapy here, he moves out, not knowing what to expect. He goes to Toxicosis. I go for a Toxic here, and does nothing, obviously, because he's a muck. So, I land a Encore here, predicting a Curse. Or no, I go for a knockoff and forget that he's holding sticky body, which holds on to his item, which completely was like a lol moment. He curses, and which is fine. He gets his attack and defense raised, but at the same time, I'm gonna Encore him and lock him into this attack. So now he is planning on just living, continuing Encore or cursing, and then just punching his way through with Poison Jab later on. That's what he was telling me. So well, that's what I thought. I mean, he didn't tell me. Continues on. I go ahead and go for a knockoff, try to do some damage. Doesn't work. I knew I'm going to be outclassed here tremendously. So now, not knowing exactly what to do, I go ahead and, well, there's Sandstorm going on, Burn, the whole shebang. He continues to curse. He gets Black Sledge Black Sledge healing and Sandstorm damage. There's Burn. There's lefties on me. Just ridiculous amounts. I move out to Mrs. T here. And Mrs. T is the other Pokemon that just completely wreaks havoc on his team. I go ahead and set up sub because that's what Mrs. T does. Subs up and just devastates. Yeah, this is the first half of the match. If you want to see the conclusion, I would like, or you can tune into the